Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Coyote Pass has finally come to an end, but beneath it is the wreckage of a dream that was built on shaky foundations and was eroded by lies, greed, betrayal, and delusion. Kody Brown was convinced that his vision for the vast Coyote Pass land would unite his fractured family and paraded around like a patriarchal king of the desert for years. However, the reality was much more bleak. Now, everything has collapsed in the most humiliating and visible manner possible. Kody and Robyn Brown have emerged completely cornered and exposed from the ashes of the war over Coyote Pass, which was more than just a property dispute. It was also a symbolic battle for power, respect, and legacy. While the other wives, Meri, Janelle, and Christine, may have been battered, they have also been released. In the meantime, Kody and Robyn are bound by a mountain of debt, broken promises, and relationships that can't be fixed. These things have cost them everything: money, credibility, their family, and most importantly, their pride. The so-called dreamland is now more like a cemetery, marking the grave of a plural marriage fantasy that went awry in front of the entire world. The unraveling truth, the financial leaks, and the simmering resentment that finally boiled over when the other wives decided to take control of their lives and reveal the cracks Kody tried so desperately to hide came from within, not an external force. The unraveling began quietly, behind the scenes, long before it exploded into public view. The first real warning sign was Christine's departure in 2021, but Kody was too blinded by his favoritism for Robyn to see the seriousness of the situation. He thought Christine was just being silly and bluffing. However, Christine was finished and was not bluffing. Fans were shocked by her decision to give up her share of Coyote Pass without fighting, but it was a chess move. She saw what was about to happen and fled before the consequences began. Janelle, who was always measured and practical, tried to keep going, determined to keep her stake in the land she helped finance. However, over time, even she recognized the signs. Coyote Pass was never a family goal. Rather, it was Kody's fantasy, a place that demanded complete devotion without providing any reward. The final domino fell when Meri finally admitted the emotional desert she'd been living in for years and left. Kody's entire plural marriage broke down, putting him and Robyn in the middle of a war they had just made and couldn't get out of. The financial devastation that followed the Coyote Pass disaster was just as horrifying as the emotional turmoil. Kody had long acted as though everything was under control. As if the money would appear by magic, he gushed about the land's potential, waved architectural drawings in front of cameras, and promised homes for each wife. But the truth was a lot worse. Kody had reportedly taken out loans that he was unable to repay, in addition to the property taxes that had not been paid, and the increasing interest rates. The land was undeveloped, barren, and plagued by logistical and legal nightmares. In the meantime, Robyn and Kody had hidden away in their extravagant $900,000 Flagstaff home, making up reasons why construction had stopped and quietly losing money. The paper trail could not lie when the other wives demanded clarification, particularly Janelle, who had invested directly in the land. There were inconsistencies, money was missing, and shocking admissions that Kody had given Robyn's house more importance than the shared dream he had sold the others. Fans watched as the slowly unraveling of a man who once demanded total obedience was captured on TLC's cameras. Kody deflected, placed blame, and reacted violently when he was held accountable. He said that Janelle and Christine had been unfaithful. He called their questions attacks. He ignored Meri's emotional anguish. Even when he appeared to be more depressed about losing control than losing his wives, he broke down and wept. Robyn, on the other hand, clung more tightly to Kody while weeping about her own broken dreams and how she had never intended for this to happen. However, the harm remained unabsorbable despite her tears. The narrative that Robyn was the innocent victim no longer had the support of fans. She had reaped the greatest rewards from Kody's financial funneling and favoritism. Robyn was at the center of the commotion now that the Coyote Pass land had become a battleground for blame. She and Kody were no longer the happy couple. Instead, They were the bad guys of an empire that was falling apart. Even worse, it is now impossible to ignore the legal repercussions of the Coyote Pass mismanagement. The question of who actually owns what arose after Christine left. Meri and Janelle distanced themselves, and no real progress was made on the building. Kody and Robyn are linked to the most debt, according to public records, while Janelle's contributions appear to be undersecured and poorly documented. Janelle's legal counsel may have advised her to take civil action to recover her investment, according to rumors. Even if she doesn't go that route, the fact that she publicly insisted that Kody had misled her made waves on social media. She was supported by fans who demanded an exhaustive audit and even suggested that TLC investigate the possibility that Kody misappropriated funds obtained from the show. The public fallout has already done irreparable damage to Kody's and Robyn's reputations, regardless of whether legal action is taken. One of the most damning moments came in a recent episode when Janelle confronted Kody about how much money had been spent on Robyn's house, while the rest of the family was left waiting for their plots to be developed. Kody stumbled, turned around, and finally admitted that plans changed and that the building on Coyote Pass was now in doubt. That was the turning point in everything. Neither did Janelle scream. She didn't weep. Instead of seeing Kody as a partner or husband, she simply stared at him as a manipulator who had squandered her time, money, and loyalty. A silent, icy glance communicated more than any dramatic fight could. Kody was made public. There was no land, no strategy, and no real power left for the Emperor. The saga is said to be exhausting even TLC. Producers have reportedly become frustrated with Kody's erratic behavior, refusal to cooperate during filming, and lack of transparency, despite the trainwreck drama on Sister Wives continuing to attract viewers. According to insiders, Robyn has attempted to direct the narrative, pushed for changes, and even requested that certain scenes be cut to preserve her image. However, it's too late. The videos speak for themselves. Every tearful manipulation, every emotional breakdown, and every angry rant are all recorded for all time. Additionally, fans have lost sympathy. In point of fact, a lot of people are asking TLC to make a spin-off about Christine, Janelle, and Meri's independent lives, leaving Kody and Robyn to deal with their own wounds alone. Let's also talk about Robyn. She has not done much to bridge the gaps for someone who frequently weeps on camera about her desire for family unity. In fact, many fans think she made them wider. Robyn has turned into the face of everything that went wrong, whether it was because of decisions made through backdoors, financial decisions made in her favor, or emotionally charged guilt-tripping. She is also clinging to a man who no longer has anyone else's support now that the family has collapsed. The demise of every other wife's dream has made their home a haven of isolation and a haven of comfort that cannot be altered by editing or justification. Truth has prevailed. The emotional harm is just as significant. Relationships between Kody and his children have suffered greatly. Kody's separation from the rest of his family was only made worse by the tragic death of Garrison earlier this year. Kody and Robyn became even more isolated, which did not bring everyone closer together. Numerous Brown children have expressed their feelings of being used, abandoned, or emotionally neglected, particularly in relation to the promises surrounding Coyote Pass. What was supposed to be a family legacy has turned into a sign of division, favoritism, and broken promises. Previously thought to be the foundations of a modern plural family, Kody and Robyn are now viewed as its architects.